Hi, Mavs. Welcome back. I am super excited for today's writing lesson. So, yesterday we had some great brainstorming and thinking about verbs, and today we are going to use that amazing thinking and we are going to use it to kind of create colorful poetry using haiku format poetry, haiku types of poems. All right, let's begin. So, right now, let's go ahead and look at our learning. Pull your bow and arrow way back onto 1, 2. I can write a haiku poem about plants, insects, or animals. Boo! Well, what is a haiku poem? Haiku is a Japanese poetry form. A haiku uses just a few words to capture a moment and to create a picture in the reader's mind. It's like a tiny window in a scene that is much larger than itself, and that is what we get to create and plan today. So to begin, we have to kind of review and think about syllables because that is how you create haiku poetry.
Haiku poems. Haiku poems express a single thought. They are only made up of 3 lines, so they are very short poems. Rhyme scheme does not matter for a haiku poem. They do not need to rhyme. However, syllables do matter for a haiku poem. There are a couple ways to count syllables. Clap your hands, put your hand under your chin, or count it on your fingers. Haiku syllables fall in a certain pattern. There should be 5, 7, and 5 in each line. The first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, and the third line has 5 syllables. You will always have the 5, 7, 5 pattern in most haikus. The most common topic for a haiku poem is nature, whether you're talking about grass, animals, or weather. All of them apply to nature. To review, a haiku poem has only 3 lines, follows the 5-7-5 syllable scheme, and they are typically about nature.
Created using Powtoon.
All right, so that is kind of a review. So we're going to use that way to count syllables today as we begin our own haiku poem. So here first are some examples of haiku poems. Let's count these syllables together as we read. So the first way I want to do, we're going to try each of the 3 ways that we just discussed in the video. Okay, the first way is by clapping. Okay, so remember, first line has 5 syllables, second line 7, and third line 5. Okay, so ready? So you can see that this is talking about nature, right? This one is almost like snow or seasons or winter. And so that's kind of the topic of this. And here we go. Let's use our clapping method to think of the syllables for this poem. Ready? Snowflakes all around. 5. Falling from the big blue sky. 7. Melting on my tongue. 5. So did this writer do a great job of creating a 5, 7, and 5 haiku poem? Yes, they did. Let's go this time, and we're going to use our mouth. So the way you think about poems or syllables with opening your mouth is that your mouth has to open to say a syllable. So when your mouth opens, then you know that you are creating a syllable. So let's try it. I'll hold my count with my fingers, and let's do the tree frog poem together. Are you ready? Hold on, the thing's blocking it for you. Ready? They live in tall trees. So you notice my mouth is having to open that I'm saying syllables. And that's because oftentimes when you have a vowel, your mouth has to open for A, E, I, O, U. And every syllable has you guessed it, a vowel. So let's do the next line. Such cool loom in us colors. Awesome. 7 syllables again. Ready? Let's do the last line. Sticky pads on beach. Yes. So again, this is another way. I personally like the counting with your fingers or the clapping. And Mrs. J in 3rd and 4th grade likes using your hand. So it's really kind of what makes it easiest for you. Everybody has their own different way and technique that is their favorite. Let's do the next one together. This time I'm going to use, as I hear it and see, I'm going to use my fingers to count. Okay, so this one, the topic is on an animal and it's golden retriever. Ready? The love in your eyes shows your gentle, happy soul. Until the squirrel. Great job. Okay, so that's what we're really practicing today. So before we really go off and start writing our haiku poems, we're going to find a way to kind of plan and think and talk about our poems. So let's do that. As a reminder, you're going to want your circle map always, plant your circle map stack in your blue writing folder. I think today what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back of my noun circle map that we created a few weeks ago, and I'm going to use that for my plan. So let's do that. All right, so I want you to pick a topic, okay? So I want you to think we're writing about a plant, insects, or animals. So I want you to think right now, what is a topic or a plant or an idea for nature that you could do? So let's brainstorm. I'm going to brainstorm on my sheet and maybe help to inspire your thinking. And you might already have some ideas that you want to do. So some things that you could write about. In nature, you could write about trees, and it could be a specific tree, right? It could be an aspen, could be an evergreen. You can write about insects, okay, which includes ladybugs, spiders. Oh, spiders are arachnids, but butterflies. Okay. You can write about if we're thinking animals, plants, or nature, you can write about seasons, winter, fall, spring. Okay, so you have all of these ideas. So I want you to right now think about an animal, maybe your favorite animal, maybe an animal that you like. Think about insects. Think about whatever it is that you want. And I want you to decide what is the topic that I'm going to write my first haiku. Okay, so I want you to pause this video because you can't really continue until you've had a chance to really think about what is the topic that you are going to write about. Okay. All right. So I'm going to think about something in nature. Okay, for me, Mrs. Hampton is going to choose a rainbow. I think they're really neat. They're a part of nature. Okay, so that's going to be the middle. That's going to be my topic. I want you to write the topic in a circle. Okay, now writers, we have talked about nouns and adjectives and verbs. Okay, so I want you to think about all of those things because those are really going to help us today as we write. So here's what you're doing. All you're doing is you're creating juicy phrases. I want you to think about adjectives or phrases that describe your topic. So for example, okay, we will do the syllables second, but I want you to go, this one says soaring majestically. So you see they have soaring. That's a juicy word over flying, right? And it's an action verb. Riding the wind. Flower helpers, because they're pollinators. Pollen transporters. Vibrant colors. Important pollinators. Okay, once you have really brainstormed and thought about, there's so many ways that you can think and record your thinking on ways to describe whatever it is that you're talking about, whatever your topic is, because the more ideas that you can get on here, the easier it is going to be for tomorrow for you to write and publish your haiku poem. Okay, so let's do some of this thinking together, and then you are going to create your own after we are done today. Okay, so Mavs, right now, all of you should have a topic with a circle. Okay, so I want you to just sit back and I want you to watch. I want you to even brainstorm out loud some of the things that if you were sitting right next to me, that you would help me. You would say, you know what, Miss Hampton, you totally have to add this in. Okay, so I might say rainbow. I think it has soft, blended colors. Okay, I have that Roy G. Biv. Roy G. Biv, which stands for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. All of the colors of a rainbow. After pouring rain. Okay. One cool fact about rainbows is that it looks like they end, but they actually never end. So I would say never ending sphere. Right? It kind of just goes around, but when the way we see them, we can only see from here to here. So it's kind of a cool fun fact. Okay. Maybe I think of sometimes you'll have like crashing thunderstorms. Right? These are the things that often are the precursor to a rainbow, right? A rainbow might form after thunderstorms. Maybe it's loud before with the loud crashing thunderstorm. Maybe I think of leprechauns. Maybe some of you might have already thought this, and unfortunately you can't tell me right now, but maybe you're like, pot of gold, Miss Hampton, of course. Okay. So there's so many things you can say. And one of the cool things, right? I'm disappointing myself because crashing is the only action verb that I have, the ing verb. So let me think. What are some action verbs? I guess rain, I could do after pouring, I could just do raining. Oh, I know a good action verb. Appearing, because they kind of just appear out of nowhere, right? Appearing. Okay, so try to really think about some of those adjectives, words that are described nouns, right? This has to be a noun in this guy. Okay, what are words that you can describe, and what are verbs that you could use to add to this? Because here's what's going to be awesome, Mav. Tomorrow, this is what's going to make your writing easy. So we've talked about this many times, right? This is the plan. Great writers always plan their writing, and that is what we are doing together today. So right now, after I have done, I've kind of filled, you've noticed I've filled this scrap paper with all of the words that describe my noun. And now my second job, because I want tomorrow to be easy for me to start thinking and playing with my descriptive words, I am going to count and figure out the number of syllables for each of these words. Okay, so I'm going to use whichever form I like. So I might model a few with you. Leprechauns, 3. Pot of gold, 3. Soft blended colors, 5. Roy G. Biv, 3. After pouring rain, 5. Never ending sphere. 5. Crashing thunderstorms. Oh, Miss Hampton's really liking these 5s. Raining. 2. Loud. 1. Appearing. 3. Now, Mavs, tomorrow I'm going to use this plan to create, and we're all going to publish our haikus in Google Slides. So that is all for today. I'm super, super excited to see the plan and the topic that you are going to create, because tomorrow we're going to use it and we're actually going to be published writers of our haiku poem. All right, Mavs, this has been so much fun. Thank you for your hard work, and I'm excited to see what you create. Happy writing.